My early childhood was traumatic. My mom battled a severe drug addiction, and when I was 3 years old, my mom committed suicide. I constantly would ask, is my mom coming back? And then at one point I finally said, okay, and turned around and I never spoke about her. I took my first drink of alcohol at the age of 13, and from that moment on, every weekend, it was drinking to levels where I couldn't remember what I had done. By the time I'm a junior in high school, I was snorting drugs off of my desk during class. I was selling pills, puking up drugs into the toilet. I was so strung out on cocaine that I actually was snorting it in front of my dad while he had tears running down his eyes, telling me, you're either going to rehab or you're gonna leave. And I remember looking at my dad and saying, if you think of taking this cocaine from me, I'll kill you. During my 20s, I was working menial jobs, getting fired from most of them. Why won't a decent girl date me? Why are all my friends leaving me? Just because I'm drinking 2/5 of whiskey a day, puking up blood, cooking up crack on my kitchen stove. There was nothing left of me. When I started doing heroin is really when I knew I was gonna end up the way my mom did. The turning point, I was 26 years old and I received my third drunk driving charge. And I knew this was not good. For the first time in my life, instead of just wanting to die, I wanted to live.
After competing in 28 Ironman Triathlons, he's here to share the story that changed him. Welcome, Todd, to the show, who I just have to say congrats on your sobriety and flipping the script on your life, my friend.
Thank you very much. I wanted to take that horrific negative addiction and turn it into a new focus. And I knew exercise and nutrition were the foundation of feeling good. So it just made sense initially for me to say, well, let's do the things that I'm going to start feeling better at. So with each step that I was taking physically and putting good food and nutrition in my body, I was getting better socially, spiritually, intellectually, and it was the catalyst of what I have today.
That's amazing. Going through, there's so many types of addictions, but going through that process of change and replacing a bad habit with a good habit, how did you deal with the anxiety and the cravings?
To be honest with you, the exercise helped reduce the cravings, and it also reduced my depression that I was coming out of the addiction for. So for me, it was a way to feel good every day, and it was a constant reminder of how good it was to be sober and that I wanted something more out of life than what that addiction had taken away from me.
And there are a lot of good studies out there that talk about how exercise, even when compared to medications, can truly treat people's depression. In some cases, people will go into remission in terms of their depression just from exercise alone. Tell us about how you've now utilized this to open your own rehab center.
Well, by the grace of God, I started doing the Ironman Triathlon, and our local newspaper ran a story about my life as being an addict and now doing Ironmans and having a family and being educated. And the response from that newspaper article was overwhelming. And I thought, I can do something with this story. So I formed a nonprofit called Racing for Recovery. We're here to help prevent substance abuse in kids and then show addicts, their families, and society that recovery is possible.
I love this.
The stories, to be able to use your story and your pain and your failures are part of your success. To be able to turn that around, not only create the life that you've always wanted and attract all that into your life, but to pay it forward and help other people along the way that you understand personally that are going through those addictions and those struggles. That's inspirational.
And I'm biased because we've even had a number of guests on our show who talked about after going into rehab and coming back to the real world, where do they focus their energy? And when you can combine doing things that are good for your physical health with your mental health, helping you battle addiction, it's just a win-win for everyone. Kudos to you, Todd, not only in your own sobriety, but Race for Recovery. We'll have more resources on our website. Keep up the great work, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Cheers to you.